Jennifer, I'm enjoying this program. Let's Talk Influence. You know what? I really like this word influence. Influence could be good and some could be bad. But today we are in a world of influences.
Yes.
Somebody is getting influenced by somebody. How do you see this word influence?
It's a very tricky word. Because
Why do you say tricky?
I said tricky because you say it can be for good or for
Yeah.
bad. If you see, even on the YouTube, you see people who are being paid for being influencers for what you wear or what you use. I think that you got to be sure about how and what you want to influence people with. I want to influence them with this particular story that we had on Going Beyond, actually. It was an army officer who had an accident in his helicopter up in the snow. He lay in the snow for 7 or 8 hours. And then finally he was rescued and he spent 2 years in the hospital. Rest in peace. He just passed away not even a week ago. But that's the kind of influence when somebody sees that. Look at that courage. Look at that bravery. Look at that, willing to fight. Lying there in the snow. The wolves are around. They're smelling his blood. And yet, he hung in there. That's the influence I want to have. Somebody look at that and say, my gosh, if somebody can do that, I can as well. I can do it in some other way. So I think influence has to be for the good. I think it's a sin if influence is not for the good of whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good point, Jennifer, because today, whether it's a young person or everybody wants to influence somebody.
That's right. Absolutely.
And we need to be very careful as we influence people.
That's right.
If it's for the good, it's good.
That's right.
But if it's on the negative side, it could be dangerous.
True.
Jennifer, coming back to your own career, 30 plus years in the journalism, doing several stories, there are many who are saying, you know what, I want to be a storyteller. And every episode I come back to the audience. And how can we help them? What is this 3 decades plus? Each season would be different, the initial season from where you started with the plane crash and how that made you come into telling the story.
Yes.
From there to learning this whole thing. So what are the key learnings you have learned which you could tell our viewers who are saying, I want to be the storyteller?
I think that the most important thing I learned was that, not that I'm getting better by day. No, that's definitely not the takeaway. The takeaway is, am I still telling the truth? Am I still where I started? When I didn't know anything and I depended upon people around me. I depended on my team. I depended on my editors. I depended on anybody, not my relations who said, oh, you look so good or the story was good. No. That's not the point here. I always felt that, am I doing a little bit better than when I started? Not the more number of people who praise you. That's not the key here. The key is for yourself. What do you think of your work? But I would like to know, when I am finished a story, Ashvin, even now, I step back and I say, am I satisfied with what I did? And if I'm satisfied, that is what matters to me. The outside world, they may praise you, they may slam you, they may criticize you, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. What do you think about your work? And I feel that for a young person who is starting, I think the best takeaway I could offer them would be, just because one story hasn't done well, don't give up.
Don't get discouraged.
Please don't be discouraged. It happens to the best of us. It's happened to me quite often. I remember one politician where I said they have 5 seats in the Lok Sabha. I said 4 and it was 5. And I was really troubled by that because I knew I had made the biggest mistake. What a goof up was that? And the next day they were all screaming and yelling and they were going to come and burn down the office and I don't know, whatever they were going to do to me. But it didn't matter. What I'm saying is that you can make a mistake. We all make mistakes. We are all human. And if you've got a good organization that backs that, then they're going to tell you it's all right. The rest of your work is good. Tomorrow is another day. That's always what I say. Tomorrow is another day. So even if a young person, the story is thrown out, it doesn't matter. Write that story for the print. Send it to the editor. Send 20 stories to the editor. It doesn't matter. Editor will finally give in and choose one of your stories for publication. So that's very important. It is for us not to be discouraged by something that maybe doesn't go the way you want it, because we all think that, what we've done is wonderful. It's not the case. Many times it's not true at all. There are times when you could do something you think is great. Your editor doesn't think it's great, or your viewer doesn't think it's great. They'll be criticizing you. This doesn't matter. It does criticism as long as it's constructive. Take that constructive point from that criticism and go forward. That's the way you have to succeed.
Because many, as you rightly said, this is the key for people who are starting,
Yes.
Don't give up, keep trying. But also many would say, as a career, Jennifer, also for both men and women, this business of storytelling is so consuming, and it can really take you in. But then how do you balance both your personal life and your career life? How do you do that?
That's very difficult. That is very difficult because if you want to be a journalist, there are many times when you would have to sacrifice a lot of what you would normally would be like to be doing. I can recall the numerous times when one is called out from a family function, from an event, from a holiday, from a Christmas lunch, many times that has happened. And that is the essence of what you're doing. I mean, am I prepared to, go out and do this story? I remember once it was an air crash, once it was a train accident in Kerala, things like this. But then you have to be ready to get up and go. Otherwise, you can't be a good journalist. You can't, even if it is a story for the YouTube. The news is now. The news doesn't happen tomorrow. It's old news. In a few hours' time, that news is old. The whole world knows about it. That's very important. You have to understand that. And yes, there is a price you pay. There's a price you pay for being a journalist. There's a price you pay for being a good journalist. It's even more difficult. So I think that's the way to, you have to be prepared to go that extra mile. Otherwise, it isn't possible to be a success. No.
Jennifer, at this stage in your life, looking back,
Yes.
What gives you the most important satisfaction?
Well, I would say that being back in television, I come back after some time. I had a personal problem with my mother being ill and passed away. And it's been total joy to just come back and be doing what you love to do. What is your obsession? I'm obsessed with television, Ashvin. I love this business. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. I want to do it. So it's something that I enjoy. And it's not for the praise. It's not for the accolades. Not at all. It's not. It's for your inner soul. It's for your inner being.
Many people, even in any job, they retire.
Yes.
But what I'm finding in journalism, especially in you, is the same passion maybe when you started is still there.
Very much so.
So how do you keep that? That's my question. Because many people can say, I've also met a journalist. I remember my friend's father. His name is Sam Rajappa. He passed away.
Yes, I knew
Sam,
him. He was in the Statesman.
Exactly, Statesman. And his son and me are classmates. And,
really?
Whenever I met Sam Rajappa, he would have his own charm, but he couldn't just come out of that journalism, he was always carrying
that's true.
So how does I'm just saying life of a journalist, right?
Yes.
A life of a journalist. How do you keep it going,
It's in your bones.
Exactly. So how do you keep it going?
You don't need to keep it going
Just
when it's in your bones and
bones.
it's your passion.
Right.
You don't have to school yourself. You don't have to force yourself that I want to do this. I'm going to do this. No, I want to. I want to get up and go. I think that's what it's all about. It's that really inborn passion that exists. And I just love it. I enjoy it so much that it's okay. No matter what the inconvenience is, I still love it.
Yes, because my dad is 79, 80.
And he's equally passionate.
And he's into AI.
I know.
And so, I think as you rightly said, you have to have that passion.
Yeah. If you don't have it, it cannot, I don't think you can force yourself to do this.
Right.
You will be unhappy. You will not have the joy of the business, of the profession. The journalist is a calling. Journalism is like a calling. You're called to do this. You're called to tell this story. I think that's the joy. I love it.
Last 30 seconds, Jennifer, for those last closing comments. What would you like to tell our viewers who are saying, you know what, I really like what you're saying. I want to be in this career. What's some closing comments you would like to say?
I think my closing comments would be that if you really want it and you'll know in your heart that is something you want to do, I think you just have to stick with it. I just think you have to persist. You have to be determined. You have to, never mind what happens. Never mind if somebody knocks you. Never mind if somebody tells you it's all nonsense. Keep practicing. Keep doing it. Try, write a story. Send it to the papers. Let it be thrown out. Write it again. Work on it again. Send it back again. Back and forth. See, it doesn't come easy. If anybody who's wanting to start in this business must know that you need to practice. Even if you don't necessarily succeed the first time, carry on. Robert Bruce, carry on. That's the only way to be successful in this business. That's the only way. You don't need to work or look at, I want to make a name for myself. I want to be rich and famous. I want to get the best seats on the plane or the best seats in the theater or the best seats in the restaurant. No, it's not about that. It's what I want. I would like to do this. It doesn't matter. Go back, cry into your pillow if so be it. Next day is another day, another story.
Thanks, Jennifer. I think these episodes were really insightful and more importantly for the viewers saying, you know what, I want to be in this space.
Yes.
And I've really enjoyed these last episodes.
Thanks,
and
Ashvin.
thank you so much for sharing all those insights.
Thank you, Ashvin.